Hey everyone, Recall Reviews here. It is White Rice Wednesday, which means time for my Survivor recap. I apologize for the late review. Had a late night tonight at work, so I'm a little tired. But here we go. So Chris arrives on the edge of extinction, and he is not welcome with open arms. Reem is still pissed that she was voted off by the rest of the Manu tribe, so Chris kind of has to. I don't think he's too concerned that he's not really welcomed, but he does get some brownie points because he does score them food. So they do like him a lot better now, but at the same time, Chris is going through some personal struggles. I mean, I think everybody is out there on the edge of extinction, but he's having trouble because he's always. He said he was a perfectionist, so he's having trouble the fact that he just got voted out. At the Manu tribe, Wentworth knows that Wendy's the one that took the Flint because part of Wendy's wacky plan, she took. We saw that she took the Flint last week, and now all of a sudden, it appears there, and David finds it, and I guess she was trying to have the Flint pop up, like, oh, try to get the blame off her back, but ultimately Wendy can't be trusted because she's kind of unstable and she wants to kill the chickens. Like, you just don't know what she's thinking and what she's gonna do next. So it's that time in Survivor when Jeff says those magical 3 words, drop your buff. So now we are at 3 tribes, and I gotta say, it was a freaking crazy tribe swap because the new Manu tribe is Wendy, Victoria, Eric, Gavin, and Aubrey. 4, 1 Manu. The new green tribe is the Lazoo tribe, and that's Wentworth, Lauren, Rick, War Dog, and David. All original Manu. Now the new yellow tribe is Joe, Aurora, Ron, Julie, and Julia. All original Kama. So I don't know if that's ever happened in Survivor history, but that is pretty crazy. So on the new Kama tribe, Joe wants to work with Aurora. He seems to have a good vibe with her, and he also wants to work with Ron. But Ron is kind of thinking what we're all thinking about Joe, that he's a challenge beast, and to have him go forward, or to let Joe go forward, is the wrong thing to do. So if Kama were to lose, Ron wants to make sure that Joe doesn't pull out an idol. And Ron, I gotta give him credit, he's thinking really good. He has Julia go search Joe's bag, and sure enough, Joe does not have an idol. So yeah, I gotta give them credit there for even thinking that. It shows that their head's in the game. At the Lazoo tribe, they're all wondering how the other tribe is adapting with Wendy. They're kind of glad and relieved that they have that distraction off their back. Now they could finally work as a tribe and hopefully win challenges. And it's a lot. Like, you are starting over again. You have to build a shelter. You have very little food. Probably not as little as Edge of Extinction does, but I don't think it's. I mean, I'm sure it's hitting everyone hard, but it's hitting Lauren the hardest. She's hating being away from her family and is having a tough time adapting out there. She hasn't eaten, which is concerning to the tribe. And I think for 2 reasons. One, because they're genuinely concerned about her. That she hasn't eaten in how many days. They want to make sure, she's okay. But at the same time, they're also concerned that the fact that she's not eating, is she a liability when it comes to challenges. So at the new Manu tribe, Wendy's kind of being the tour guide of the island, showing everybody what it's like out there, and showing everybody the ins and outs of the island. And what I didn't get is that Wendy told everybody that her tribe mates were bullies, and I don't think that's a really fair assessment because look at Wendy. I feel like I don't know if that's part of her personality or she's trying to stir the pot on purpose, but it's like they're understandably frustrated because she wants to let go the only food they have. So it's like, how would you react to that? And they're just kind of they're just kind of sick of dealing with that and having that distraction around. And Wendy actually was serious about freeing the chickens because she heard that Eric wanted to eat the Eric and everybody wanted to eat the chickens, and she freed the chickens at night. And it's kind of unclear exactly why she wants to free the chickens because we saw last week what she said to everyone was hypocritical. But they're all they all know she stole the chickens. It's not like, oh, what happened? Where did they go? They all seem to know that Wendy stole the chickens. So that should be interesting if that comes up at some point, because then Wendy's old tribe would be like, oh yeah, she had that plan before. So at the edge of extinction, the loneliness is getting everyone there. Keith's mentioned, I would assume this is true for everyone. Keith said that his mind is his strongest asset, but it's also his weakness because being alone out there, your mind kind of gets the better of you. So he keeps wondering, should I stay here? Should I lift the white flag and go home? I'm not sure. So the Manu tribe, oh, I already mentioned that. Okay, so we'll move right on to the immunity challenge. So the immunity challenge now, because there's 3 tribes, 2 people, I mean not 2 people, 2 tribes will win. So basically they had to race over these frames carrying a rope, and then they had to pull this heavy crate, and then they had to untie knots to unlock puzzle pieces and solve a puzzle. I did like this challenge. It did make things a little bit more complicated, the fact that it was pouring out rain. So trying to get up those ramps was kind of hysterical. Well, not hysterical, but it made something challenging more challenging. Couldn't think of a better word to describe that. But I gotta give Joe credit. He actually came up with a good idea. They actually made a human ladder, and that seemed to benefit all the tribes. And it seemed pretty neck and neck there for the puzzle, regarding the puzzle. Although the Lazoo tribe seemed to be struggling a little bit more behind. And Kama kept its winning streak going and won the first immunity. And Lazoo ended up losing, going to tribal council again. So going back to camp, they're discussing who to vote out, and people are saying Lauren for the reason I said earlier. But they're also throwing Rick's name out there because they think that if when the merge comes, that he's more likely to flip than anybody else there. And this makes War Dog the swing vote because David and Rick want to vote out Lauren, and Lauren and Wentworth want to vote out Rick. So it's all up to War Dog now. And at tribal, it seems like everybody's doesn't know what to do because they seem like they're very close, and I feel like they'll be close outside the game, but they just don't know who to vote off. So let me see. I was also talking about how it was raining out there really bad. If having returning players out there is an advantage, like, do they have an advantage because they've done the game before? And Wentworth brought up a point saying that it's the same for everybody out there. It doesn't matter if you played once before. It doesn't matter if you play 5. It doesn't matter if you haven't played at all. It's the same dealing with the rain and all the elements out there. I mean, you may have played the game, so you may know how to deal with them. Might be able to give pointers, but yeah, it's still the same. And they also brought up the fear of rejection and how we remember on David's first season, Millennials versus Gen X, how the very first episode or two, he was very fearful about being rejected by his own tribe, and he ended up coming on top and came in 4th place. So in the end, it ended up being Rick that got sent home. So yeah, it seemed like he was a good sport about it. I mean, he didn't seem to, it seemed like, it doesn't seem like anybody would have been a bad sport if anyone was voted off. So yeah, and even looks like he's a good sport going to Edge of Extinction. So next week's episode shows that War Dog actually maybe would want to get rid of Lauren, and Wentworth doesn't want to do that because Lauren's her biggest asset. And then Aubrey seems to have an opening because Victoria suggests that her, Aubrey, and Wendy team up to get rid of Eric, and Aubrey's all for that because we know Eric wants to get Aubrey. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed tonight's Survivor. If you guys want to check out Survivor, it is on Wednesdays, 8 p.m. on CBS. Until next time, stay regal.